Hello everyone. This session is based on powerful insights from Daniel Goleman on leadership and attention. Leadership is, at its heart, the task of directing attention, starting with your own. Now, really think about this. Most people try to lead others without first learning how to lead themselves. But if your own attention is scattered, constantly shifting between distractions, stress, and urgency, then your leadership also becomes scattered. Directing attention means being intentional. It means asking yourself, where is my focus right now? Is it useful? Is it helping me move forward? Because when your attention is clear, your thinking becomes clear. And when your thinking becomes clear, your leadership naturally improves. Every day, our attention is being pulled in different directions. Notifications, conversations, responsibilities, it never really stops. But strong leaders don't allow their focus to be controlled by everything around them. They take a step back, pause, and choose what truly deserves their attention. Because focus is not automatic, it is a decision. We are living in a time where information is everywhere, but attention is limited. Because of this overload, we often fall into habits like rushing through information, reacting quickly, and avoiding deep thinking. But leadership requires depth. If a leader only reacts instead of reflecting, they may make quick decisions, but not always the right ones. That's why focus must be balanced across three areas: yourself, other people, and the larger world around you. When one of these areas is ignored, your understanding becomes incomplete, and that affects your leadership. Let's start with the first type of focus: inward. This is about understanding yourself, your thoughts, your emotions, and even your physical reactions. Sometimes, before you can logically explain something, your body already reacts. You might feel uneasy, tense, or unsure. These signals are important. They are your internal guidance system. Ignoring them can lead to poor decisions. At the same time, inward focus also means being genuine, being the same person internally and externally. And to strengthen this, it helps to have a small group of people who can give you honest feedback. People who are not afraid to challenge you when needed. Understanding yourself is only the beginning. What truly matters is what you do with that understanding. This is where self-control comes in. It's your ability to stay focused on what matters, even when distractions or emotions try to take over. In daily life, this shows up in small moments: choosing not to react immediately, staying committed to long-term goals, and resisting the urge to follow every distraction. Over time, these small choices build discipline. And discipline is what allows a leader to remain steady, even in challenging situations. Now let's move to the second type of focus: others. Leadership is not just about tasks, it's about people. To lead effectively, you need to understand how others think, how they feel, and what they need. This goes beyond just listening to words. It requires paying attention to tone, behavior, and emotions. When people feel understood, they become more open, more engaged, and more willing to contribute. And this is where true leadership begins, not just in giving direction, but in building connection. As leaders grow in authority, there is a risk that often goes unnoticed. They begin to listen less. They may interrupt more, assume they already know the answers, or overlook input from others. This creates distance between the leader and the team. And the problem is, the higher a leader goes, the more they depend on accurate information. But if people stop sharing openly, that information becomes limited. That's why strong leaders stay humble, approachable, and open, no matter their position. The third type of focus is outward, looking at the bigger picture. This means understanding not just what is happening now, but what could happen in the future. Leaders must balance between continuing what already works and exploring new possibilities. If you only rely on current success, growth stops. If you only chase new ideas, stability is lost. So leadership requires both. It also requires stepping back and seeing how everything connects, understanding patterns, systems, and long-term impact. Sometimes clarity doesn't come from working harder. It comes from stepping back. When you give your mind space, it starts connecting ideas in new ways. And that's where new insights appear, not in pressure, but in moments of calm thinking. Focus is not something you either have or don't have. It can be developed. Think of it like a muscle. Every time your mind wanders and you bring it back, you are strengthening your ability to focus. At first, it feels difficult, but with practice, it becomes easier to stay present and avoid distractions. And as your attention becomes stronger, so does your ability to lead effectively. A focused leader is not someone who does everything. They are someone who understands what matters most and gives it their full attention. They are aware of themselves, connected with others, and mindful of the bigger picture. Instead of being constantly busy, they are intentionally focused. And that is what makes their leadership impactful. Being busy can feel productive, but it doesn't always lead to results. True effectiveness comes from clarity. When you focus on the right things with full attention, your actions become more meaningful and your impact becomes stronger. Now that we understand these ideas, the next step is applying them. Because knowledge alone is not enough. Real change happens when we take these concepts and use them in our daily actions. So let's look at how you can begin applying this in a practical way. Start by paying attention to your internal signals. Notice how you react in different situations, what triggers you, what motivates you, and what affects your decisions. Take small moments during the day to reflect and build a circle of people who can give you honest feedback. This helps you stay grounded and continuously improve. Make a conscious effort to understand the people around you. Listen carefully, observe their behavior, and try to see situations from their perspective. And as you grow in position, remind yourself to listen even more. Because leadership is not about being heard, it's about understanding others. Create time to step back and think. Look beyond daily tasks and consider the bigger picture. Ask yourself, where is this leading? What patterns can I see? This kind of thinking helps you make better long-term decisions. When you step back from daily work, you begin to see things more clearly. Connections appear, patterns become visible, and decisions become more thoughtful. That's the power of looking at the bigger picture. In moments of stress or strong emotion, it's easy to react quickly, but quick reactions are not always the best ones. So instead, train yourself to pause. Take a moment to think about your options, and then choose your response carefully. This simple habit can completely change how you handle difficult situations. Leadership is not about controlling everything around you. It's about controlling where your attention goes. Because when your focus becomes clear, your decisions become stronger, and your impact becomes meaningful. Thanks for watching. We will see you in the next video.